Hi, I'm Clive. Welcome to the Wildlife Rescue 101 film series. Today we'll be talking about habitat gardens and how you can contribute regardless of the space you have to work with. The plants and animals in our local natural areas are survivors of an ecological challenge. With urban development, we lose wildlife habitats. Over the last 200 years, habitat loss and other threats have caused the extinction of at least 60 native animal species. The populations of many others have declined by more than 95%. We can all help wildlife by creating habitat in our backyards, school grounds, or even a small balcony or deck. All animals, including us, have the same basic needs: water, food, and a place for refuge.
There's three important things in the whole process. Is to provide safety, which means canopy, plants, areas to hide.
It might be our instinct to remove and clear fallen branches and logs, but leaving them on the ground really creates that environment where different mammals can thrive. So whilst it might look messy to us, it's exactly the environment that our native animals really need.
What you're trying to create is a feeling of safety. They want to, if they can feel safe and they don't feel threatened, then they'll become more gregarious and more open to being, closer contact with humans. And if you can teach your pets, dogs, cats really need to be monitored and kept inside, especially at night. But if you can keep them and own them correctly, then the birds will still come, the animals will still come because they know they're in a safe area.
A variety of local native plants will provide leaves, flowers, nuts, seeds, and fruits for many birds and mammals, including possums, gliders, and bandicoots. They will also attract insects. Ask a local bush regenerator or native plant nursery for advice before designing the garden and selecting the appropriate plant species.
And then obviously water. Every animal needs to water at least once a day.
So this is a really good example of a basic habitat pond. It's not fed by any water source. It just gets filled with rainwater, and big rain events gets flushed out and cleaned. So getting something like this in your backyard is a good way to attract frogs and other amphibians, as well as insects, and a good place for birds to come and have a drink.
Although each garden is a private space, it connects to the next garden and the next. This forms part of a larger, living environment that supports local birds and other native wildlife.
Australian creatures travel to find different food sources, and as a process they go around. Once that knowledge is passed on, your home becomes part of their day. It might only be 5 minutes, but part of their day is we're going down to that place, you're going to have something to eat, and then we can move on because we know we're safe there.
Since we've come in and developed, their habitat and where they live is now scattered. So having a little spot where they can come and rest and find food and water and shelter and then be on their way is just so important.
Every garden can make a difference.
I'm often asked in this line of work, what is one thing that I can do to help with habitat loss? And the real answer is that there's no one size fits all. Everything that you can do and every small change we can make will make a difference, whether it's choosing to plant natives or putting in a small water feature.
You could try and grow some native nectar producers, small grevilleas, small callistemons. That would bring the birds in.
Hundreds of eucalyptus trees for koalas. Everything that we do, if we do it together and for the right reasons, will make a difference.
If you can provide those three things, which is safety, food and water, no matter how big, no matter how small, in this country that we live in, which is beautiful, you will attract creatures to your garden. It's pretty easy.